Hey everyone, it's Barb Teckle, author and oracle card reader for people and for pets and their people. And you can learn more about that at joyfulpaws.com, and that's paws, Paws.com. So today, the new moon is in the sign of Aquarius. And I just love thinking about that Aquarius. It makes me think back to the 1960s. When this new revolution of independence was taking place and people were stepping into the truth of who they are and speaking out. And yeah, it just gives me so many good feelings. And Aquarius, if you are aware, that is the energy that we are continuing to move more and more into, which we will be in Aquarius for a while. And then I believe July through the end of the year, we'll be back in the Capricorn energy as far as the collective and the universal energy. So, but this new moon is in Aquarius. And this is from the, I'm just going to read to you what the archetype of Aquarius is, which is from the website Modern Gypsy. And this is an independent, free thinking archetype which encourages us to examine our inner wild self and celebrate everything that makes us unique. It's the archetype of the reformer, the idealist who strives for tolerance, unity, and a better and brighter society. And despite these rather lofty ideals, the Aquarius archetype isn't afraid to get in there and get its hands dirty. So spiritually, the Aquarius archetype teaches us how to be true to our own voice, to listen to and follow the calling of our own heart and soul. And who doesn't want to do that? If you watch my videos and you tune in each time I do a reading, I know that's why you're here, is you want to live from the heart and soul of who you are. And she goes on to say, by learning how to tune in rather than out, by being true to the things that make us unique, we undertake the journey to individuation. So that is the energy that we're working with as we welcome this new moon, and we set our intentions for the next 2 weeks, and looking at where can we be true to our own voice and how can we begin to listen or expand on listening and following the calling of our own heart and soul. What is that going to look like for each of us, right? So I'm going to pull a card from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. This is a deck by Colette Baron-Reid. And we are going to look at the question I'm going to pose for this new moon with the energy of Aquarius is, what do we need to know as we work with this Aquarian energy for our highest good? What is it we need to know as we work with this Aquarian energy of finding our voice, maybe expanding our voice, and really moving into that space of being who we uniquely are? And just thinking about that, when you think about being who you uniquely are without fear of what others are going to think, doesn't that, I mean, that's all what we're striving for. That's where the place we really want to be, because when we are, we feel so good within ourselves. Okay, so let's see here. What do we need to know as we work with this Aquarian energy for our highest good? I love having to say this. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot. Waking the lion. Stand in your courage and be who you authentically truly are. Set that intention to really start to implement that into your life. And you can do that in really small ways. I'm sure you've heard me say this about lion before. Lion can roar really loud, but you don't necessarily have to do that if that's not who you are. But you can take quiet, gentle steps if that's what you wish to do too. But whatever way that is, to start to begin to share your voice. And the word compassion is coming into my head too as I look at this card and I think about, how it can be scary and how we can feel nervous about sharing our voice because maybe there's a fear of rejection or, that we're not going to be wanted in a certain group or maybe in our family. But if we can come from a place of speaking our voice with compassion, a lot of times it is able to be heard um, by someone who maybe we have a fear around of sharing our voice. So maybe just start to do that in small ways, whatever that looks like for you, whatever area of your life, wake that inner lion within you. That just feels so appropriate for what I read to you about examining our inner wild self and celebrating everything that makes us unique. So, and I think about the mane on a lion and how wild it is. Just embrace that wild self that you are and begin to live from that. So I'm going to pull an animal as our animal guide, though we already have lion as our animal guide, but I'm going to pull another card. And I'm looking at this, and it is card number 19. And numerology wise, 1 and 9 is 10. And then 1 plus 0 is how you would figure that out, is equals a 1. And 1 is all about new beginnings. So, so often we think about January as a new beginning. And but really, I don't know if you felt this. A lot of people that I have spoken to, as well as myself, most of this month of January, I've been in this place of, not really wanting to leap forward yet. That there was still some inner work I needed to be doing, and inner contemplation. But when I look at this card as we step into this Aquarius new moon energy, and then again with the numerology of 1, it's a new beginning. How do you want to go forward today and into this new year, and sharing more of your authentic voice? All right, what other animal then is going to guide us as we work with this energy of Aquarius? And I'm pulling this from my upcoming Animal Reflections Healing Oracle. And let's see. I thought I had them all upside down because the first card's upside down, but I don't. Let's see, what other animal is going to guide us? This is one I'm thinking should be pulled. Bear and introspection. So let me just think about this for a while. I'm looking at, what I read from the Modern Gypsy about learning how to tune in rather than out. And bear and introspection is really confirming that thought, that in order to be our true wild inner self and really speak our voice and move from the heart of who we are, that does require introspection, and really examining the reasons why we may not share our voice of, what we believe, or, what holds us back, what are we afraid of. And when I look at waking the lion and introspection together with bear, I'm also thinking, because, waking the lion seems really like a big action movement, a big forward movement. And then we have introspection. And it makes me think of one of my favorite symbols, which is the spiral. How we spiral in to the center and we spiral back out again. And that is what life is all about. No matter what energies we're working with, no matter what challenge we're working with, it always requires that we have this introspection first before we move back out into the world and take action. And sometimes that can look, sometimes that can happen within a matter of 5 minutes, but sometimes that takes longer, deeper introspection. So you're just really examining what is that for you, and looking at that. And it's going to be different at different times of your life. But again, as we look at the Aquarius archetype and energy, again, and then listening about learning how to tune in rather than out. By being true to the things that make us unique, we undertake the journey to I can't say that word. Individuation. That's a hard word to say. So yeah, just tuning in with what feels right in our hearts. And that requires quiet time and contemplation. And, there's nothing wrong with that. We need all of that in our life. We need both to be in balance within ourselves. So that is the message for the new moon. for individuation. There, I said it right the first time. And again, how do we work with this Aquarian energy for our highest good? Is by listening to that true authentic voice. And you know what that is. You do. We all do. But our minds are so powerful, and we can let those negative parts of us, or that conditioned parts of us that holds these beliefs that are probably not true. And a lot of times then they will drown out what our true voice is. So it's so important. Bear reminds us, find that quiet den, find that cozy, comforting, safe den where you can really explore what's in your heart and be honest with yourself. Journal about that. Talk to somebody about that. Maybe you need to say it out loud. Maybe have an oracle card reading with me that you can try and get to that true voice that's within you. And then look at what is it that holds you back, and how can I best move forward. So that's the message for, like I just said before, for the new moon in Aquarius. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you possibly for the new moon. I'm going to be traveling. Oh yeah, I will see you for a full moon yet. I guess I'm jumping ahead of myself. We'll be traveling the end of February to the beginning of March, and then we'll be planted for a while in Arizona for about a month. So I'm hoping to still do my work there and share readings and things with you. So yeah, I think we still have a full moon yet, and I'll have a monthly animal reading for you coming up for February. So enjoy this new moon in Aquarius. All right, take care, everyone. Bye bye.